Your kidneys are drowning. Right now, as you listen to this, microscopic filters inside your body are screening under a weight they were never designed to carry. And you put it there, 5 grams at a time. They told you it was safe, the most researched supplement in history, they said. Just a white powder, tasteless, odorless, dissolved in water every morning like a vitamin. What could go wrong? You stand in your kitchen, the container in your hand. The label promises strength, power, performance, the kind of transformation that makes suffering worthwhile. And so you begin. The first scoop slides into your glass. It dissolves slowly, particles spiraling downward like ash in water. You drink. It tastes of nothing, feels like nothing. And that's the lie. Because something is happening, right now, in the darkness of your gut, in the microscopic corridors of your intestines, in the chemical factories of your liver. A change has begun. Your body doesn't know it yet, but you've just made a deal. And like all deals whispered in the dark, there will be a price. Creatine. Chemically, it's simple. C4H9N3O2. 3 amino acids holding hands in a molecular dance. Your body makes it naturally, about 1 gram per day, synthesized in your liver and kidneys like a carefully measured prescription. But you're not adding 1 gram, you're adding 5, sometimes more, day after day, week after week. Think of your cells as factories. Inside each one sits the mitochondria, the power plants, burning fuel to create ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the currency of cellular energy. When you sprint, when you lift, when your muscles scream for more power, ATP breaks apart, releasing energy like a tiny explosion, and then it's spent. This is where creatine enters the story. It acts as a reservoir, a backup generator, waiting in the darkness of your muscle tissue. When ATP breaks down into ADP, adenosine diphosphate, the exhausted 2-phosphate version, creatine phosphate donates its phosphate group, recharging ADP back into ATP. More fuel, more power, more repetitions. It sounds perfect. It sounds like evolution itself handed you a cheat code. But your body is not a machine you can simply overclock. It's an ecosystem, a delicate balance of chemical reactions that took millions of years to calibrate. And you've just flooded it with 5 times the normal amount of a potent organic compound. The question isn't whether something will happen. The question is what happens when the body realizes it's drowning in abundance. You wake up on day 3, and something feels different. Your muscles look fuller, harder. You flex in the mirror, and there's a tightness to your arms that wasn't there before. You tell yourself it's growth. But it's not growth. Not yet. It's water. Creatine is osmotic. It pulls water into your muscle cells like a magnet, drawing fluid across cellular membranes through a process called osmosis. Each molecule of creatine brings water with it, swelling your muscle fibers from the inside. Imagine a sponge, slowly submerged, absorbing water until it's heavy and swollen. That's your muscles now. Heavier, fuller, pressing against the fascia, the tough connective tissue that wraps around them like a sheath. You step on the scale, 3 pounds heavier. You smile. But beneath your skin, in the spaces between cells, in the interstitial fluid that bathes your tissues, something else is happening. Your body's water balance is shifting. Your kidneys, those twin sentinels stationed at the small of your back, are working harder now. They're trying to maintain equilibrium, filtering blood, regulating electrolytes, adjusting for the sudden influx of creatine and the water it commands. Your urine darkens slightly, just a shade. You barely notice. By the end of the first week, your muscles are saturated. Every creatine phosphate receptor site is occupied. Your cellular power plants are fully stocked, reserves brimming. You're in the gym, and you feel it. That extra repetition, the weight that felt impossible last week, now moves. Your muscles fire with a sharpness you've never experienced. The burn comes later. The failure point has shifted. This is what you wanted. But in the shadows of your body, in the microscopic architecture of your organs, the tide is rising. Your kidneys are processing creatinine now, the waste product of creatine metabolism. Normally, they handle about 1 gram per day. Now they're handling 5, 6, 7. The nephrons, those million tiny filtering units inside each kidney, are working overtime. Picture a water treatment plant suddenly receiving 5 times its normal volume. The filters strain, the pressure builds. Nothing breaks, not yet, but the system is stressed, pushed closer to its operational limits. Your blood carries more creatinine now. If you tested it, the numbers would be elevated. Not dangerous, not yet, but elevated, moving upward like a tide that hasn't decided whether to recede or keep rising. You drink more water. They told you to do that. Stay hydrated, they said, and you do, bottle after bottle, trying to flush the system, trying to help your kidneys manage the flood. But water can't change the fundamental equation. More creatine in means more creatinine out. The kidneys don't get a break. They don't get to rest. They just keep filtering, keep processing, keep drowning in microscopic labor. Your body is not stupid. It's been managing chemical balances since before you had consciousness, since before you had language. It knows when something is wrong. Around day 12, something shifts. Deep in the cells of your liver and kidneys, in the enzymatic pathways that synthesize creatine naturally, a signal is sent. Stop production. Your body recognizes the flood. It sees the excess creatine in your bloodstream, in your muscles, in your tissues, and it makes a calculation. If this much is coming from outside, we don't need to make our own. The enzymes responsible for creatine synthesis, arginine glycine amidinotransferase and guanidinoacetate N-methyltransferase, begin to downregulate. Production slows, then stops. You don't feel this. There's no sensation, no symptom, but your body has just made a critical decision. It has shut off its own creatine factory and become dependent on your daily dose. This is adaptation. This is survival. This is your body trying to maintain homeostasis in the face of chemical invasion. But it's also surrender. You're stronger now, measurably stronger. Your lifts have increased. Your recovery feels faster. Your muscles stay full, pumped, even on rest days. But there are small things, strange things. You notice your digestion feels off. Not painful exactly, just different. A low-grade discomfort that comes and goes. Sometimes bloating, sometimes cramping. You blame your diet, maybe too much protein, maybe not enough fiber. But it's not your diet. Creatine draws water into your muscles, but that water has to come from somewhere. Your intestines, your stomach, your digestive tract, they're all giving up moisture to feed the osmotic pull in your muscle tissue. The mucus lining your gut becomes slightly thinner, slightly drier. Digestion slows, transit time increases. Bacteria in your colon, the trillions of microorganisms that help break down food, begin to shift. Some species thrive in drier conditions, others die off. Your microbiome, that invisible ecosystem inside you, is changing, adapting, evolving in response to a new chemical environment. You might get headaches now, mild ones. They come in the afternoon, a dull pressure behind your eyes. You drink more water. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. The headaches aren't from dehydration, they're from electrolyte imbalance. Creatine pulls water into cells, and with it, it shifts the concentration of sodium, potassium, magnesium. Your neurons, exquisitely sensitive to these balances, fire differently, misfire. You feel a slight tremor in your hands sometimes, just a flutter, gone in seconds. This is your nervous system trying to recalibrate in a body where the electrical gradients have shifted. Let's go deeper. Let's travel inside your kidney, down into a single nephron, one of the million filtering units that keeps you alive. You're standing at the entrance to the glomerulus, a tangled knot of capillaries, blood vessels so thin their walls are only 1 cell thick. Blood rushes in under pressure, pushed by your heartbeat, carrying everything: nutrients, waste, creatinine, urea, minerals, dissolved gases. The glomerulus acts as a sieve. Water and small molecules pass through tiny pores in the capillary walls, entering the Bowman's capsule, a cup-like structure that catches the filtrate. Larger molecules, proteins, blood cells, stay in the bloodstream. But creatinine passes through. It always does. That's the point. That's how your body gets rid of it. Under normal conditions, creatinine trickles through at a manageable rate. But now, after 2 weeks of daily creatine supplementation, the concentration has increased. More creatinine molecules crowd the glomerulus, pressing against the filtration barrier. The cells that make up this barrier, podocytes with their delicate foot-like projections, begin to experience stress. They're designed for baseline conditions, for the natural rhythm of waste removal. But this isn't baseline anymore. Research shows that chronic elevation of creatinine levels, even within normal ranges, correlates with decreased glomerular filtration rate over time. The kidney compensates, filters harder, but the podocytes don't regenerate. Once damaged, they're gone. You can't feel this. You'll never feel this. Not for years, maybe not for decades. But it's happening. Cell by cell, nephron by nephron, microscopic casualties in an invisible war. Now descend into your muscle fiber. It's bloated with water, creatine phosphate molecules stored in the sarcoplasm like ammunition in a bunker. You're at the cellular level now, watching myosin and actin filaments slide past each other during contraction. ATP is consumed, broken down, rebuilt by creatine phosphate. The cycle spins faster than normal, more power, more endurance. But look closer, at the mitochondria. They're working harder too. Oxygen consumption has increased. More free radicals are being produced, reactive oxygen species, molecules with unpaired electrons that tear through cellular structures like bullets through paper. Your body has antioxidant defenses, glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase. They mop up free radicals, neutralize them. But the balance is shifting. More radicals are being produced than can be neutralized. This is oxidative stress. Lipids in the cell membrane begin to peroxidize, their molecular structure breaking down. Proteins denature. DNA picks up mutations, small ones mostly, harmless mostly, repaired mostly. Your muscle cells are aging faster now, not visibly, not measurably in any short-term sense, but the accumulated damage is there, written in the architecture of your cells like scars on a battlefield. Your kidneys don't scream. They don't send pain signals when they're struggling. They just quietly reduce function, nephron by nephron, until you've lost 75% of their capacity. Only then do symptoms appear. By day 25, your glomerular filtration rate has decreased by a small but measurable amount. Nothing clinically significant, nothing that would show up on a routine blood panel as a red flag. But the trajectory has changed. Studies on long-term creatine supplementation show mixed results. Some indicate no harm. Others suggest subtle, progressive changes in kidney function markers. The truth lives in the margins, in the individual responses, in the genetic predispositions you don't know you have. Are you the person whose kidneys can handle this forever? Or are you the person who, 20 years from now, will sit in a nephrologist's office wondering why your kidneys are failing? You won't know, not for years. Your liver has gone quiet. The creatine synthesis pathways have been shut down for 2 weeks now. The enzymes sit idle, dormant, waiting for a signal that doesn't come. This is metabolic suppression. Your liver is conserving resources, redirecting energy to other processes. It's efficient, it's adaptive. But here's the question no one asks. What happens when you stop? When the external creatine disappears, when your body suddenly needs to make its own again, will those enzymatic pathways reactivate smoothly? Or will there be a lag, a gap, a period of deficiency while your liver remembers how to make what it needs? Some users report a crash after stopping creatine, fatigue, muscle deflation, brain fog. They blame withdrawal, but it might be simpler than that. It might just be your liver struggling to turn the factory back on after a month of forced shutdown. Creatine isn't just in your muscles, it's in your brain. Your neurons use ATP constantly. Thinking, memory, mood regulation, all of it requires energy. Creatine phosphate buffers in brain tissue help maintain ATP levels during periods of high demand. Some studies suggest creatine supplementation improves cognitive function, especially under stress or sleep deprivation. You might have noticed this: clearer thoughts, better focus, sharper memory. But you've also noticed something else: mood changes, irritability, a baseline anxiety that wasn't there before. Creatine affects neurotransmitter synthesis. It influences the production of dopamine, serotonin, and GABA. By changing the energy dynamics in your brain, it changes the chemical landscape of your thoughts. You're not you anymore. Not entirely. You're a slightly different version, running on altered neurochemistry. And you have no idea if it's better or worse. You just know it's different. Inside your colon, in the warm darkness of your intestinal tract, a genocide is underway. Your microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that help digest food, produce vitamins, regulate your immune system, is dying. Not all of them, not even most of them, but the balance is shifting. Species that thrive in high osmotic environments are proliferating. Species that need moisture are vanishing. Bacteroides, which help break down complex carbohydrates, are declining. Firmicutes, associated with energy extraction and fat storage, are increasing. This shift has consequences. Your metabolism changes. Your immune system, 70% of which resides in your gut, begins to function differently. Inflammation markers rise, not dramatically, but measurably. You might get sick more often now. A cold that lingers, a stomach bug that takes longer to clear. Your body's defenses are still there, but they're working at a disadvantage. And the strangest part? You'll never connect it to the creatine. You'll blame stress, bad sleep, getting older. But it's not age, it's ecology. The ecosystem inside you has been disrupted, and ecosystems don't heal quickly.
You're at the end now. 30 days of daily creatine supplementation. Your muscles are as saturated as they're going to get. Your strength gains have plateaued. The initial rush of progress has slowed to a crawl. You look in the mirror. You're bigger, fuller, stronger than you were a month ago. But you're also dependent. Your body no longer produces its own creatine. Your kidneys are processing elevated levels of creatinine every single day. Your gut microbiome has been fundamentally altered. Your liver's synthetic pathways are dormant. You've gained muscle, you've gained strength, but what have you lost? If you stop now, the water weight will disappear in days. Your muscles will deflate. You'll feel weaker, smaller, lesser. And your body will struggle to compensate, to restart the systems you shut down, to return to a baseline that now feels impossibly far away. So you won't stop. You'll keep taking it. 5 grams every morning, day after day, week after week, year after year. Because stopping feels like losing everything you've gained. This is the trap. This is the hook buried deep in your tissue. What happens next? Fast forward 5 years, 10 years, 20. You're still taking creatine. It's part of your routine now, as automatic as brushing your teeth. You don't even think about it anymore. Your kidneys are working at 80% capacity, maybe 70%. Your doctor mentions it during a routine checkup. Slightly elevated creatinine, they say. Let's monitor it. You don't mention the creatine. It doesn't seem relevant. It's just a supplement, the most researched in history. But the damage compounds year over year, nephron by nephron. By the time symptoms appear, fatigue, swelling, nausea, you've crossed a line. Chronic kidney disease, stage 3, maybe stage 4, and you'll wonder how it happened. You'll trace back through your life, looking for the cause. Bad genes, high blood pressure, diabetes. You'll never think about the white powder you dissolved in water every morning for 20 years. Because it was safe.
They told you it was safe. Did anyone tell you about the adaptive suppression? Did anyone explain that your body would stop making its own creatine? Did anyone mention the kidney stress, the microbiome disruption, the oxidative damage? Or did they just tell you it was safe? Here's what they don't say. Safety is context-dependent. Safety is dose-dependent. Safety is time-dependent. Taking creatine for 30 days might be safe. Taking it for 30 years might not be. But no one has the data. No one has followed users for decades. The long-term studies don't exist. You are the study. Your body is the experiment. We aren't here to tell you what to do. We are here to uncover what the labels don't say. The fitness industry is built on the promise of more, but every addition has a biological cost. If you want to explore the dark biology of the supplements sitting on your shelf right now, from the pre-workout spiking your cortisol to the protein powder inflaming your gut, hit subscribe. And tell us in the comments, have you felt the shift? Have you checked your blood work? Or are you still in the dark?